Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, blessings, and mercy of Allah the Almighty and all of you. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Fidai. It's going to be a little bit more than 5 minutes because we're going to have a good look at the men's ICC Men's T20 World Cup. You know that we have been talking about the games and how things have progressed. And we also know the fact that the Super 8 stage has already started and the fact that Super 8 games have already started. But I just want to take you briefly from game number 21 onward to the Super 8. So I will want you all to please stay with me. We know that the game number 21 actually was played between South Africa and Bangladesh, and South Africa had almost lost it. But you think that the fact that South Africa has all of a sudden learned that skill of closing out close games. Last over, Maharaj bowled that. I mean, full tosses, and still Mahmudullah was not able to dispatch him. And chasing 114, they just fell by 4 runs. And that crucial decision, controversial decision of his LBW being given out, the ball being a dead, went down to the boundary. And at the end, when he reviewed, it was not out because with the angle, it was going down the leg side. And then Pakistan had a consolation win against Canada. They should have won it, and they won it with 15 balls remaining. And then Nepal and Sri Lanka, that was abandoned because of the rain. And then Namibia and Australia. Australia really won it with a huge margin, 86 balls remaining in with 9 wickets left, chasing down only 73 runs. And then that match between USA and India became a little interesting, but then India closed it with 10 balls remaining, chasing down 111 on a very tricky surface, New York. And then West Indies in New Zealand, again, that match started really, really nicely for New Zealand. They restricted West Indies. It was only Rutherford Shaw who put a brilliant 60-plus run, 149 is what they put on the board in New Zealand, fell short by 13 runs. It was just that they weren't really into their arc. Bangladesh and Netherlands, Bangladesh won that match by 25 runs. And this is the track where Afghanistan will be taking on Australia, the Kingstown, for their Super 8 match, which is really, really crucial for Afghanistan. It's a spin-friendly track. Spinner's been really, really handy there, and that has been the highest run scored on this ground, 159 so far. The other runs have been really less than 159. Oman in England, well, England needed that. England needed that against the team of Oman. It was a 19-ball chase, record chase for England to beat the net run rate issues with Scotland. And then with that win, chasing down 48 and only 3.1 overs gave him a net run rate boost, which is why they were into the Super 8. Although Scotland and England finished with 5 points each, but because of the net run rate, England qualified to the Super 8. Papua New Guinea, Afghanistan, that was a very good match to watch. Again, brilliant performance from Afghanistan. This is still when Afghanistan was still doing wonderful, restricting Papua New Guinea to only 95 and then finishing in its style with a maximum from Gulbuddin Naib, who played brilliant 49 of 36 on a very tricky surface. Afghanistan finished with 29 balls remaining. And then USA and Ireland match was abandoned, which is why Pakistan's hope of qualifying onto the next round also diminished. South Africa versus Nepal. That was a really interesting contest. South Africa had almost lost it, and then they just won it by 1 run. Again, I'm saying that South Africa have somewhat learned the trick of closing down close matches. Uganda, New Zealand, you can't talk about it. Uganda was destroyed, demolished by the New Zealand bowlers, and New Zealand chasing down 41 runs of a target in very quick time, 5.2 overs. And then Canada versus India, match abandoned without a ball board because Florida, you know, the weather was not very friendly. England versus Namibia, that was an interesting match because if the rain had taken over, England would have qualified to the Super 8. But because there was match finally played and with the DLS method, England won it by 41 runs. But the key there was the partnership because they lost Josh Butler early against Namibia. And then I remember Ian Morgan saying the fact that England needed a partnership. And this is what Afghanistan will need to put together partnership, and the runs will start coming. Scotland versus Australia, because this was a very crucial match. Had Scotland won it from Australia, England will have disqualified from the Super 8. But Australia finally winning it by only 2 balls remaining. Like it was only 2 balls remaining. Travis Head and Stoinis came to the rescue and saved England from disqualifying. Ireland versus Pakistan, another consolation win. Pakistan won it by 3 wickets, but it was only Shaheen Shah Afridi who came down the order and smashed a couple of sixes to seal the deal for Pakistan before leaving back home. Bangladesh versus Nepal. Of course, Bangladesh was restricted to only 106 runs, but Nepal fell short by 21 runs. You'd say Bangladesh bowled really well, but Nepal batted really terribly. Sri Lanka versus Netherlands, that was one match. Sri Lanka would be very happy with the result. 201 they posted on that wicket, and then restricted Netherlands only 118. That was a good match for Sri Lanka. A consolation when the fact that they were leaving. Papua New Guinea versus New Zealand, you don't want to miss hearing about that, because Ferguson bowled 4 maidens. Wow. I mean, I haven't heard of it before. There were 3 maidens in the past. 4 maiden by Ferguson didn't give away anything to the Papua New Guinea batters. West Indies versus Afghanistan was a match that Afghanistan could not win. They miscalculated things. They won the toss, decided to. I am sorry, my time is up. I'll just continue for another few minutes. In that match between West Indies and Afghanistan, Afghanistan miscalculated. Winning the toss, they should have batted first. They decided to see how they good are at the chase, how good they are at the chase, and they were really, really short by 104 runs. It didn't click for Afghanistan, and therefrom Afghanistan lost that momentum. Qualified for the Super 8 though, but going forward in the Super 8 matches against India, they really couldn't capitalize. South Africa versus USA from the Super 8 stages, #1 match. USA really gave a good fight against South Africa, but again, South Africa have been winning matches closely recently, and then they win it by 18 runs. That was on the back of some good batting from South Africa. Stubbs stayed there, and they made an order, and Quentin de Kock started scoring runs. In the game between West Indies and England, England won it by 8 wickets, and that was some brilliant batting from Phil Salt, but you cannot give chances to these batters. Phil Salt was dropped off Akil Hussain's bowling. It was a tough chance because the ball edged the bottom of the bat, which was very difficult for Nicholas Pooran to hold on to. But that chance, and then in 1 over, that 4 and 6 and 6 and 4, I mean, really sealed the deal for England. India versus Afghanistan is the game which really gave us a heartbreak. We lost it. We fell short. We only scored 134 runs, and India won it by 47 runs. That has hurt our net run rate. We have to come back strong, and we'll see how Afghanistan does. In the same group with us, Bangladesh and Australia, Australia sealed the deal, winning it by 28 runs with the DLS method, and they went up the chart even ahead of India as far as the net run rate is concerned. South Africa versus England, that was a close game. Again, 25 runs of 18 balls. You would always think that England will win it. The fact that Liam Livingstone was out in the middle, Broke was out there, but that brilliant catch from Aiden Markram tells you the importance of fielding. And with that, they closed the game and won it against England. South Africa winning it by 7 runs only. The USA West Indies was only one-way show. West Indies needed a statement, needed to win it with a big net run rate boost, and they have done it. They win it by 9 wickets with 55 balls remaining. Wow, hope has actually really transformed. And that brilliant 80-plus run with as many as 8 sixes really chased down the target set by USA of 129 in real time, 10.5 overs only. And it really gave them a net run rate boost. Now things are becoming really interesting. So today the games are being played between India and Bangladesh, and Afghanistan versus Australia. We hope that Afghanistan will win it, inshallah, against Australia. We've had really close games against Australia in the T20 format and in the one day. We only lost by 4 runs. In the T20 match, we were playing in Australia, and Glenn Maxwell took the show away from us. Like, it was just one man that really played unbelievable innings, but it's not going to be the same every day. We hope that Afghanistan will win, and we need this win to be able to stay alive in this group and hopefully think of going past Bangladesh and Australia to qualify to the semi-final. For the win of Afghanistan, inshallah. Thank you very much for staying with me. I know I took a lot of time. Apologies for that. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my YouTube page. I was thinking about the word subscribe, and see you around. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.